day, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are joining us from. I know maybe in different time zones, so whichever one applies to you. It's good to have you join our call today, Talent Talk. This is the third series, the third episode of the Talent Talk we'll be having. We have had two so far, and this is actually the last Talent Talk for the year 2024. It's been an amazing year so far. I believe that we have achieved so much at our various end for this 2024, and the year is coming to an end. So for TalentsFactory and Talent Talk particularly, this should be the last Talent Talk for the year. The previous Talent Talk we had our amazing presenters give us a talk on landing a high-paying job in the tech industry, and it was quite impactful. We learned a lot from the last Talent Talk, and today as well we have some of our experienced hands, professionals in the tech industry who will be giving us talk. They'll be giving us a talk on the topic, the roadmap to tech career success, practical tips and strategies. So at TalentsFactory, we're on a journey to enhance our skills, making sure that we are all professionals in our chosen career path. Whichever career path you have chosen in the tech industry, whether that's software engineering, front-end, back-end, DevOps engineering, that's cloud engineering, basically, cybersecurity, product management, product design, and so on, data analysis, and so on. Whatever you have chosen to pursue as a career in the tech industry, it's our goal that we all become experts, we all become professionals, we all become masters in our craft, and that is our vision. So today we're going to be looking at the roadmap to tech career success. How can you go from beginner or whatever level you are at now, whether you are at the beginner stage or at an intermediate stage, or maybe even a senior, but you can do better, right? So how can you advance to become a guru, become an expert in the field? So we are going to be looking at practical tips and strategies you can use in order to climb the ladder. So we have professionals. Two of our presenters today, we have Wale, who will be taking a session, and we have Tepase, who will be taking a session as well. So, and before we go on, apologies for starting some minutes late. We were supposed to start at 6 on the dot, but we had some delays, and apologies for that. So we'll be going on to the first presentation, and our first presenter will be Wale. Just a minute. All right, so our first presenter is Wale. Wale is a seasoned engineering leader with over 9 years of experience in designing and delivering scalable software solutions that have served millions of users. He recently served as the head of engineering at Fincra, where he led a team of seasoned cross-platform engineers focusing on architecting high-performance systems with an emphasis on scalability, reliability, and security. Prior to Fincra, he was the team lead, DevOps IT service management at Octosoft. There he led DevOps teams in the healthcare technology sector, managing technology for a holding company and 4 subsidiaries serving over 400 users. He optimized system reliability and efficiency, maintained hybrid EMR servers with 99% uptime, and reduced infrastructure costs by 30% through strategic implementations. Before that, he served as DevOps cloud engineer at Tech Advance, which is now Block HQ. He improved cloud infrastructure and IT security by implementing infrastructure as code using Terraform and enhanced CI/CD workflows by integrating Jenkins and Bitbucket pipelines. This led to seamless automation using Kubernetes and Docker containers. He also served as an ISO 27001 lead implementer, overseeing information security risk assessment and ensuring compliance with international security standards. He began his career as a systems and network administrator at the GIG Group, where he ensured the smooth operation and integration of LANs and WANs and internet systems. He focused on system efficiency and security, designed and implemented networks, and maintained robust network and system security measures, holding a Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering from Olabisi Onabanjo University. He's committed to continuous learning, evidenced by multiple certifications, passionate about leveraging technology to empower African businesses. He brings valuable insights into building resilient tech infrastructure in dynamic markets. All right, so it's good to have you on the call, Wale. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me. I see it as a privilege to actually talk about my my career and talk about the very, very interesting topic, which talks about basically how how we can actually leverage on how we can actually have a kind of a roadmap, like kind of a path to having a tech career success. And I'm also privileged to be sharing a couple of tips and tricks that can actually enhance our knowledge and also make us really walk through the path of becoming so successful in choosing technology career. Thank you very much for having me, Lawrence. Yeah. So let me start by sharing my screen. I'm not sure if I can do that just yet. I think I need some permission. Yes, I've seen it. Yeah. Thanks. So let me know when the screen is visible.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. All righty. So so let's just start. The roadmap to tech career success, it's something very interesting because you know, we have to first of all define what we mean by tech career success. What do you mean? Is there really a point at which you say at this point now I am very successful as a techpreneur or even a technology expert? Is there a point? Or let me put it this way: do you think that the tech part is actually a journey or a destination? In my own small experience, I believe taking technology as a career path is not like a destination. Like there is no point at which you get to that you reach that point of saying that, okay, now I am successful. Now I am a successful person. Even if you take a look at it, even the very big tech bros that we all look up to today, like the Elon Musks of this world, the Bill Gates of this world, don't let me take Bill Gates out of this. The guy is retired. The Mark Zuckerbergs of this world, the Larry Pages of this world. You see that they keep evolving. As at 4 or 5 years ago, Mark Zuckerberg has not been shouting about the metaverse as much as he's shouting today. So you can see that even at the point at which you are looking up to him, like, okay, this guy is successful, we want to be like him. He actually keeps going forward and it keeps like evolving. So the journey into a tech career is actually not like a kind of a destination focused kind of thingy. There is no point in which you get to and you say, okay, I'm now successful. It's actually like a very, very dynamic road path that requires constant evolution. But I'll just be sharing a couple of tips and tricks that can actually help us to navigate our space through that. So this is actually like my table of contents. I'm trying as much as possible to make it as brief, concise, and informative as possible. Understanding tech landscape, I'm just going to just mention that a little. So I believe the demography of the audience on this particular podcast is we have mostly intermediate level engineers or techpreneurs, and we have entry level as well. And also we also have experts amongst us as well. But just like the heading says, it's a roadmap to actually achieving tech success. So I'm just going to be breaking it as low as possible so that I wouldn't leave anybody within the demography behind. I'll be starting with understanding the tech landscape, talking about the intentionality of self-growth. I'm talking about skills and learning. I'll be talking about growth and inspiration, like inspiring others to grow. I'm talking about challenges that from personal experience and from other experiences that I've actually been privy to learn about. I'll be sharing some of the challenges that might come along the way. I'll talk about career pivoting and explorations. It's quite interesting based on the fact that now technology is very, very much dynamic and just its progress is actually very much exponential. I'll be talking about building a personal brand because I think I see this a lot when you see highly technical people focus more on work without even trying as much as possible to build a brand. And like building a brand, building a personality behind the work you do. And in fact, it's a lot that we can actually talk about. And I'll also share a couple of actionable items. I think my profile has actually been shared by Lawrence earlier on. I'm just this small me. I have small experience in technology. I've been opportune to work in a couple of spaces within the tech space in Nigeria. I've worked in the logistics industry. I've worked in the health space. I've worked in fintech. I've also served as an IT service management person as well in an tech as well. So I have a couple of certifications to back that up, and I also have small experience, a wealth of experience to also like talk about this. So I want to just assure you that you are actually in good hands, and I can actually like give you the little I can share that will benefit us all eventually. So let's start with understanding the tech.
Sorry, Wale, can you make the slide like full screen? Is it possible? I think that would look better.
I think it's showing like full screen here. I'm not sure what's
Okay, because like there's some other, like the other slides are showing like next and all that.
right.
Yeah, I mean the main slide, if it can be like full screen also. But if it's not, I think this looks better.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, all right. So let's go on. Yeah, so I think it's just showing the entire slides at the bottom. It's in the presentation mode. So I've switched it just now. Understanding the tech landscape. This is just like I'm going as low as possible. I believe for everybody that is actually interested in, or that is on this call, or practically like a prospective um, tech experts, and you want to really know what's going on, what do you want to know? I've seen a lot of questions. A lot of people ask me these questions specifically, like, where do I start from? As in, how do I even get into it? Or what is it for me to learn? What is it for me to know? How difficult is it? I heard it's easy. I heard it's hard. I heard all of those things. I'm just going to like just share some of the common um routes at which you can actually by which you can actually like leverage and get yourself grounded, and also excuse me, I have a little cough. Get yourself grounded and also be an expert in what you do. So basically, there are a couple of things that are important for you to actually know, like things for you to like master. If you're actually like being a prospective developer, like you want to really be a developer, basically. You have to learn basics of programming languages. You have to learn a couple of programming languages, if not focused on one, for you to actually learn how to turn all of these texts into actions. Excuse me, 1 minute. Sorry about that. I have a little cough. I think the weather is not fair on me um, today, basically. So just bear with me if I come up with the cough anytime soon. So like I was saying, I said as a programmer, basically, there are some things that you need to learn. Can you still see my full screen?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So so like I was saying, there are a couple of things that you need to learn.
I
As
think the
a
top slides are showing again. John.
1 minute. I'm trying to get a hold of this guy. Okay, it's showing again, right?
Yeah.
How about now?
Yeah, it's still showing. Like it shows all the slides and like the next slide. So if we can center on the main, yeah, this is better.
Okay, is this still showing underneath?
Yeah, this is better. This is okay now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So for programmers, basically, for developers, for programmers, for system engineers, um, for programming, for developers, basically, you have to like know the core, the basics, the foundation of some of the programming languages that are going to be used, that you're going to be using to develop applications, systems, and solutions to solve various problems that we have. We have a plethora of them. We have plenty of them that you can actually learn. You can learn Python. Python to me is one of the easiest programming languages that you can learn based on the fact that the syntaxes are so much similar to English language, basically. So it's you can learn JavaScript. JavaScript is very, very popular right now. You can learn PHP, you can learn Java, you can learn Go, you can learn C Sharp as the major basic or basic primary programming languages, and then get yourself grounded in any one of them. There is still a sort of people that we call the DevOps and infrastructure guys. Those are the guys that actually like really use different platforms to ensure that um, the codes that are written are actually properly housed and properly networked for optimal use and consumption of the eventual clients. These guys are the ones that actually learn from the cloud platforms. They learn cloud platforms to actually host a lot of these solutions that we have. Years before now, there was the popularity of cloud platform was not there. So I know a couple of people in the industry used to use bare metal, have data centers within their offices, server rooms where they host programs and applications and run them, deploy them over there. So it was quite chaotic. But now it's easier for you to actually use cloud platforms to achieve what it is you want to achieve. Some examples of cloud platforms include AWS, GCP, that's Google Cloud Platform, Microsoft Azure, excuse me, please, and Huawei Cloud. We still have a couple of them as well. That's Red Hat too as a cloud platform. I think I came across Ali Cloud recently as well, and it's quite interesting. I've explored it as well, and it's quite interesting to use too. We still have other ones that I didn't mention here, like DigitalOcean, that you can also use. Those are very cheap cloud platforms that can actually host your applications. We have basic DevOps tools that you need to like also learn. The Docker, Kubernetes, CI/CD tool, DevSecOps. That you need to learn a couple of tools that can be used to infuse security into your CI/CD pipelines. Then I'm also talking about some emerging trends to watch out for. You know, like I said, the world is evolving. A couple of technologies that are not popular today might actually take over the world tomorrow. Like, you know, there's actually a big buzz about artificial intelligence at the moment. There's a big buzz about machine learning, robotics, blockchain technology at the moment, Internet of Things. These are actually emerging trends that they are not like very new, but they're like fairly popular, recently getting popular in the space. And I believe if you can actually like harness and tap into some of these technologies and start learning from now, you'll definitely be very much you'll thank yourself for it in the nearest future. So I also put a side note there that technology evolves constantly, so you have to like stay informed. So like I was saying the other time, like I don't see technology as a kind of a destination thing. Like you have to like get to a space and you say, yes, I've gotten there. Eureka, I'm actually at the top of my career at the moment. I believe it's actually a journey. You have to keep evolving, keep learning, and constant keeping yourself up to date with recent trends based on the core technologies that you have actually decided to master. I would say about I'm just putting in a couple of key points that can actually help in ensuring that we actually get grounded and like get to the point of success in our career. And one of the things that I think is important for us to know about is the intentionality behind growth. It's very much important for you to actually be intentional about your growth. You don't, what I'm saying you have to be intentional is like, I see a couple of, there are a couple of people, or let me just say, there are a couple of guys that could just say, I will only learn when there's a need for me to learn. You might eventually not necessarily learn when the need arises eventually. But when you're intentional about your growth, you can actually set up. What I like to do is for me to actually have a kind of a schedule, have a kind of a roadmap of things that I think I need to learn, things that I think are like evolving within my strengths, just to sharpening my irons, like to eventually sharpen the blade, like make sure that I keep up to date, up to par within my area of proficiencies. So those are some of the things that it's important for me to actually set up a roadmap and say, okay, at the moment, machine learning is what I'm learning. There are now different models that are now out. I need to like start exploring and knowing how those things work, how I can actually explore them and import them into my current workspace. So the first major thing that you need to do here, the first point there is for you to set clear goals for your short and long-term objectives. Like set clear-cut goals for your short and long-term objectives. Your short-term objective could be I want to be proficient in using probably JavaScript. For example, let's say I want to learn React, basically. Could be like your short-term goal. You can say, okay, I want to learn React. I want to like make sure that I can actually use React to build very awesome interactive front-end applications securely in the ways that I can, that people will actually benefit from. It could be a short-term goal, like probably in the next 1 year or 2 years, you can actually like achieve that. And your long-term goal can actually be like, okay, I want to eventually be, I want to build a company that actually caters to front-end needs of people. And I want to be able to make like I want to be able to build a company that actually like has maybe a valuation of probably $1 billion, maybe a unicorn in the next probably 4 or 5 years. Like if you take a look at it, your short-term goal is just for you to build an app. Your long-term goal in this case is like you want to build a company that is actually a unicorn that's worth up to $1 billion. And you have to like be very clear like about your goals. Like you cannot interswitch your short-term goals with your long-term goals. If you know that where you are, the status you are at the moment, you cannot actually build a unicorn in 1 year, there's no point in you actually setting it as a goal to do in a year. Then you have to also build your foundational skills. You have to like be very much proficient with problem solving, because one of the ways that you can actually achieve success is for you to actually like be involved in problem solving. You have to be intentional about your problem solving capabilities, um, data structures, algorithms. These are like founding or basic base rocks of some of the programming languages that we have, some of the ways that we build systems and solutions that caters for a lot of people and solves lots of problems. You cannot do without having a very solid foundation. So you have to like build your foundation right. There's no point in you building a house from the rooftop without even taking cognizance of what's in the foundation. You have to also be very intentional about networking with professionals. This is very much important. There is nobody that actually grows in isolation. You have to like ensure that you network with people within the tech space. You have to like join communities, attend meetups, attend meetups, attend communities, join communities where you have like minds. You'll definitely see, and one or two things that you can actually learn from that. You can see people that can actually like be that can help you in your career growth, basically, that can help you ensure that you reach your goals pretty much on time and you move faster. Like I used to say, like once you know people of like minds, you tend to actually move faster than it is. You share ideas, you share knowledge with each other, and then you get there. I strongly believe that. You seek mentorship as well. This can actually not be very much overemphasized. Definitely you know, and you must have actually been aware of people that have done what you are doing better and they're actually like ahead in the career. It's actually best to network with them, like fraternize with them, ensure that you learn from the tips and tricks and what actually took them to where they are. It's pretty much very much important. And there's one thing again that I believe that tech people are very much not very good with, which in this case is documentation. You have to like take step by step ways of like documenting things. Like you have to like document your growth, like so that you can actually look back and see the progress that you've made. You can celebrate your small wins, your big wins, your milestones. If you're a beginner, for example, maybe you're a front-end developer. The very first time that maybe a client onboarded on your front-end developer, on your front-end application, you can actually celebrate it, take yourself out. So celebrate it, take it down, and ensure that you can actually I don't know, you can actually like take notes of what your growth pattern looks like. And if you need to like buckle up to ensure that your growth is a little more fast-paced, you can do that. If you need to take a chill pill, you can also do that. It's only by documentation and referencing your milestone that you can actually like achieve that. Yeah, still talking about like intentionality, about being intentional about your growth. So like I said, continuous improvement is very much important. 1 minute, I think I've gotten it next step. Yeah. So intentional about your growth, like continuous improvement is much more important, very, very important. Like your technical skills definitely will be improved, like will definitely go ahead of you. You have to like ensure that you stay up to date with latest techs and trends. There could be a couple of tools that can make your life easier and that you need to learn about. Like I used to say like some 6, 7, 8 years ago, Kubernetes was not this much of a big deal. Until recently it became a big force, and we are all seeing the level of um, the level of advantages that it has in terms of reliability, stability, scaling, and all sorts that Kubernetes actually brings onto the table. So you definitely need to like get up to date, get ahead of your trend, and ensure that you learn and apply what you've learned, the upgrades into your basic skills. Um, Another thing that you need to also do, although this actually has kind of like people used to ask like do I really need to have certifications to be very good? But like I used to say, these are some of the things that actually speaks before you get there. It also shows the level of proficiency you have and when you take available certifications for your career path, basically. Um, as part of building your strengths, be intentional about building your strengths is for you to like leverage on online resources. We have a lot of online resources that you can use to actually learn. We have plural sites, we have Coursera, we have Free Code Camp, we have W3 schools, we have even YouTube. Searching on YouTube alone, you can get a lot of insightful materials that can actually help you learn. Also, one of the things that makes you grow is actually practice. Practice, 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 and practice. What makes you very proficient is actually like what you practice. You need to get your hands dirty. Basically, you need to really, really get your hands dirty. We can take advantage of like free coding practice. I'm speaking more to like the entry level guys and the intermediate guys right now. You can actually take a couple of free practice coding um, platforms like LeetCode, Akarank, and all sorts to just get your hands dirty. You learn algorithms, you learn structures, and how you can actually do a couple of things. Attend hackathons and then take part in open source projects as well. And then you can also set, like I used to say, like setting up a schedule, setting up a routine is something that is very, very much important. Like set up a routine for learning and dedicate your time to it periodically. So there's a particular website that I literally use and I recommend for people that want to like get grounded in their career path basically, and it's called roadmap.sh. Let me see if I can quickly share how that looks like. I'll recommend .sh. I'll recommend that as many as can. We can actually like leverage on that to see a couple of, it has a lot of broken down items that can help us to like get grounded and then in our chosen career paths, basically. Let me see if I can actually share my screen to be able to display that. 1 minute. Um, I okay. Please let me know if my screen is still visible.
Yeah, it's still visible.
Um, 1 minute. Okay, probably I'll just share that. I'll share that link and I'll probably share a couple of those pages with Lawrence so that we can distribute it further. Or we'll just drop it in the comment of the stream. Let me just move on about that. One of the ways that you can also improve your learning is by inspiring others. Like you can't take for granted what communal conversations look like, especially when you start having when you actually start getting grounded in a specific things. It's very, very important for you to actually participate in knowledge sharing sessions. You if you discover or if you actually like find out that there's a particular way you are doing something that seems to be a problem to other people, it's very, very, very good for you to actually like take it down. You can write it down, you can start up with blog posts, you can start writing on Medium, like, okay, this is actually a specific way for me to actually like imbibe security into my application, for example. This is actually a way for me to like enforce OTP, for example, in my front-end application. If you have a pattern that you think is actually like very much suitable and very much easier for you to use, and you think is actually grounded, it's one of the ways that you can actually learn more is for you to actually like talk about it, or write it down in a blog, open up Medium. Medium is free. Write an article about it, go to LinkedIn, talk about it. You can even see people that will in your comment section contribute to what you've mentioned, like even if there are other alternative ways that can actually make it better, you can actually see that that's actually very, um, very much achievable, and it's something that you definitely will benefit from. Knowledge sharing, basically, like sharing your knowledge. Um, it's something that you definitely will be of great benefit to you. Then you have to like foster collaborations and so that you work together in partnership with people. And then also, like no man is an island. You have to like work with people. You have to like be very much inclusive in your team. You cannot just sit down and say, I'm not doing anything. It is whatever it is that you tell me to do, I will do. Ensure that you are very much active and very much productive and within your team. Then you have to also like create like opportunities for growth as well. Um, like I said, even on your own, you can actually organize workshops, organize coding challenges, you can organize hackathons. Um, and while doing that, you encourage your peers to also ensure that you share, they share insights and feedbacks. These are actually like ways of having communal learnings that can actually make you grow and make you achieve that phase of success. Now, I mentioned earlier on that there are a couple of challenges that we're likely to actually like come across while on the journey of being a tech expert, basically. And a couple of them I've personally experienced, a couple of them I've seen people experience them. And if at the moment you're actually like seeing some of these things, it's you're not alone. It actually happens to like the best of us, basically. The first one is imposter syndrome. I know a couple of my close friends actually know this. I also like have this imposter syndrome sometimes. When it just seems as if it's like kind of a psychological kind of effect, especially when you're overwhelmed. It just seems as if you don't know what you know, basically, like you can't do what you can do, basically. And it's like I said, it's actually like kind of a psychological effect, and there are actually ways of dealing with that. And one of the things that I do for me to like address my own level of imposter syndrome anytime they come in, especially in my earlier career, was for me to just focus. Like, I'll definitely focus and get myself the reassurance that I need. I try as much as possible to get my head cleared and ensure that I focus basically on what I need to do and ensure that I really highlight my strengths and my weaknesses and focus a lot on my strengths and ensure that my weaknesses are also being worked on to actually turn good for me. So like this point here says focus on your personal growth and avoid comparison. Another thing that actually causes that is actually comparison, to be honest. Like start comparing yourself with somebody else. It could be within your team, it could be outside of your team, it could be in your community. It's something that actually gives you that mindset like I can't do it. It's too much for me to do. I can't achieve this. This person is doing better. This person is doing worse. It doesn't actually put you in that state of confidence of actually being able to achieve what you want to do. Then another thing that I am also like very much keen about is getting feedbacks from peers. Like I mentioned earlier on that you actually need mentors that you can actually like talk to. The closer and the more relatable your mentors are to you, the better. It's like I'm not disputing the fact that sometimes when I decide to have maybe mentors that are like far away from you that might not even respond to your chats. Imagine somebody having like a Bill Gates as a mentor, and you're like, you need a kind of a feedback to just acknowledge what you're doing, and also you might be sending him emails, for example, and you won't get a response. So like I used to say, like look for a mentor that is close to you, look for somebody that you can actually like share your experience with, share what you're going through with, get advice from. And also, these are actually some of the ways that you can also use to address the problem of imposter syndrome. Now, work-life balance. This topic is something that you cannot talk from now till tomorrow without crossing paths with people. A lot of people believe that for technology guys, the work-life balance is actually out of this world. Like it's work all the way and at the expense of their personal life and all sorts. But I believe that there's actually a way that you can actually manage that. Even me myself recently, I decided to go on a career break for like 2 months for me to just get myself in a very good mental space because of the fact that I realized that I've actually been working for a long time without necessarily focusing on myself. These are some of the things that you can actually do. You can also like ensure that you spend a lot of time doing things that mean good to you, spend a lot of time with your family, with loved ones, um, while you are actually still working. So you have to ensure that you strike a balance between work and life, basically. You strike a balance between what gives you happiness, what gives you comfort, and what actually puts food on your table, basically. Um, it's very much important, and you have to like also set boundaries. For example, especially for people that work remotely, one of the ways that I usually encourage people to like set boundaries is for you to have a workspace. If you have a workspace at home, for example, you know that when you sit down on your desk, this is for work. When you're out of there, I am at home. You understand that kind of a thing. It's very, very much important for you to actually like set boundaries and ensure that you put a boundary between your work and your life and make sure you strike the balance between both. And then you have to like build resilience. Building resilience is like actually like facing challenges. You have to like face technology challenges. You have to stay connected with your family, your mentors, your peer, and you definitely get strength. You definitely get strength. You get a lot of encouragement from those kind of people when the time actually arises. So let me move to the next slide. So I'm talking about career pivoting and exploration. So like I was telling one of my very special friends recently, I was saying, joking, I was just saying I'm a bit fast, in the sense that I try as much as possible to know a lot, from a lot. I believe in the 80-20 principle. which actually states that in your chosen career path, you have to have an 80% knowledge of what it is that's what your specialty is at the moment. You have to have a kind of 80% knowledge and proficiency in your specialty. And while you try to actually have like a 20% knowledge of every other thing, basically. For example, if you're a developer, there's nothing bad in you actually having to know basic DevOps. There's nothing bad in you being able to like deploy your application to production. There's nothing bad in you being able to use tools to test your application. There's nothing bad in you to be able to know the basic principles of product management, for example. So you have to explore. And while you're actually exploring, it actually gives you that level of confidence and that level of grit for you to be able to do, to achieve a lot with what you have. Then when I talk about exploration as well, you can also decide to actually transition between industries. So like I said, my own career journey happens to be very much interesting. I started as a network engineer, basically. I had all of the CCNAs, CCNPs of this world a very long time ago, and I worked with it. I was pulling cables up and down before I explored the path of systems and network administration, where I actually started administering systems, and then also network administrations. This time around, I've actually moved into network configurations, configuring routers and switches up and down. As at the early part of my career, before I even became a server administrator, where I actually started setting up servers, on-prem servers, cloud-based servers, and all sorts. Also, I explored the DevOps as a career path then, and that was basically what I did. That was how I evolved into the DevOps career path. So I started doing DevOps as I then. So it was just my own being inquisitive, and then trying to explore and diversify in all of the technology space that we have, that made me actually get all of those. I delved into coding later on in the career. I became infrastructure and solution architect eventually later on in my career as well. So it's good for you to transition. You can actually find something that you might need to literally focus on, and then you get there basically. So that's actually about that. So you have to also, like I said, 80/20, domain specific requirements, what it is that you have actually specialized on. You have to know, if not 100% about it, you have to know as much as possible. 100 is actually the goal, but if you're actually 80% grounded, you are fine. Then you have to also embrace continuous learning. We cannot overemphasize the necessity of continuous learning. I've overflogged it already. The technology space is actually very much evolving, and it's evolving in an exponential manner. 1 minute, please. Yeah, so let me just move to the very next slide, which brings me to the end of the slides. Oh yeah, I think I missed this out. And this was supposed to come before the 10th. So yeah, I also mentioned about having a niche, building a brand. Like I said, technology, tech guys or tech ladies usually get comfort in work, and really contributing into a lot while not necessarily focusing on yourself. You need to actually ensure that you build a brand for yourself. You need to ensure that anytime the name Wale Adeneji is called, There's something synonymous anytime you mention Lawrence Adu, for example, there's something very much synonymous about Lawrence Adu as a brand, not even as a name. Anytime you mention Emmy, you'll know that Emmy is actually here for something like build a niche around yourself, build a niche around, have a kind of a brand kind of setting. And this can actually be done by you constantly showcasing your skills. Like when I say constantly, I mean constantly showcasing your skills. There's nothing like small win. There's nothing like I achieved this is not important. It's very, very much important for you to actually like celebrate your small wins, showcase your skills, showcase your talents, mentor people, have a very strong LinkedIn profile based on what you have done. I'm actually an advocate of having a strong LinkedIn profile based on what your proficiencies are and what you have done. Actually like not, I really frown against having a kind of a LinkedIn profile where you actually like go there and just say a lot of things that you can't do, where you have where you just have a beautiful LinkedIn profile without having a very good skill set to back it up. Have a very good GitHub repository profile. Like you see, I know some people, some developers' goals is for them to have all greens. Like they should have green, 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 green anywhere in their GitHub activity charts, and which is actually very good. I know some employers also take a look at that to see how much active you are as a developer. Then it's like I said, like you have to like highlight the significant achievements that you have, the contributions that you have. I've also mentioned about networking, and then it's good for you to like attend industry events, attend webinars, attend hackathons, build meaningful connections with peers and professionals, and then and it helps you actually to like build a brand. I know a couple of times you'll see I know people on this call might actually like see me later on and just say, okay, I know that guy. He spoke about something sometimes ago. It made sense. I have reservations about what he said and all sorts. By then, you're actually like building a kind of a personal brand for yourself. And it's eventually like gives you that kind of leverage that you need. It also gives you the kind of leverage that you need, especially when you eventually want to delve into entrepreneurship in technology, like you want to like probably like found a startup that will solve a specific problem. It also gives people the comfort and like give them the assurance that you are actually like very good at what you do and you are known for something. Developing credibility as well. If your specific chosen career path is actually like certification, like intensive, it's very much important for you to actually like ensure that you actually like clear them off. I know for cloud and infrastructure, we have a lot of certifications, especially for AWS, Azure, GCP, Huawei Cloud, Andy Cloud. All of those guys have certifications that can actually like prove your proficiency and your credibility. So it's very much important for you to have like take them up, take up the challenges and like start doing them up. Then just like I also mentioned, knowledge sharing. You have to like ensure that you consistently share your knowledge, write blogs, take notes, write articles. Um, you can even get your articles written in an assisted manner with proper prompts of what you need to do. You can actually even get an AI to write it for you. Just prompts with specifics of what you've done, what you need to achieve, what the content of the blog post needs to be. Just make it there, put it out there. In the next few years, you'll come back, look at that article and say, okay, at this point, this was where I am, this was why I wrote this, and this was my knowledge base as at this time. So I think basically that's basically like the admonition I have to like give for today. I would have loved to go through the roadmap.sh to walk us through how it works. Let me still see. Lawrence, do I still have time?
Yeah. You can go ahead.
Okay. I actually have multiple screens here, and I'm not sure if I'm still very much possible. I don't know. Am I still sharing my screen, please?
No, you have stopped sharing.
Okay, yeah, I think I understand. So let me see if I can um where is Zoom? Okay, yeah. So let me see if I can quickly share um so yeah, I think so just really okay. So let me know if you can see anything.
Yeah, it's showing now.
Okay, yeah. I guess yes. Okay. Yep. Okay. So this is actually roadmap.sh basically, and it gives you can set up a profile to be able to know exactly what you need to be able to like have like an idea of what you need to know in any one of the career paths that you've chosen basically. 1 minute. I'm trying to see um yeah. All right. So let's do this. So, for example, these are all roadmaps. It has a couple of things that are very much a couple of um, items like parts that you can actually like pick up and then take a look at and see how much you can actually learn. So let me just pick up a few, and then we'll just round up from there. For example, for front-end engineers, for example, what do you actually need to learn? What do you need to do? What do you need to know for it to be very proficient with front-end engineering? Um, um, yeah, please confirm you can still see my screen. Are you seeing
Yeah.
you are seeing the roadmaps basically, right?
Yeah, it's showing.
Okay, yeah. So for front-end engineering, for example, you can just pick up any one of them that you are like you have interest in, and then you see what you can actually learn to for it to get grounded in for it to get grounded in front-end engineering basically. So as a front-end engineer, you have to know about the internet basically. You have to know how this works. But before I go on, let me just give you the legends of how it is on roadmap.sh. For every purple tick that you see, is actually very much recommended. For the green ticks, these are alternatives to like the very recommended ones. And then for the gray ticks, they are the ones that are like not like strict, but it's actually like a good to have. So for example, the first one I'm talking about here is 1 minute. So for the ones that are like gray, they are not like very much very important like that. It's a good to have. So for front-end engineer, basically you have to know the internet. So you have to know how the internet works. You have to know what HTTP is. You have to know what domain names are. You have to understand what is hosting. You have to understand all of this. So these are some of the things that you have to know basically from the internet that will make you proficient in what you do. And then you have to also know the basics of HTML. You have to learn the basics of HTML, how to actually write HTML codes. You have to understand the semantics of HTML, forms and validation liabilities and SEOs. These are things that like you have to know. Like SEO basics is like a good to have, especially if you want to like ensure that your search engine is properly optimized. Like search engines properly optimize your page. It's a good to have, but it's not like a very compulsory thing for you as a front-end engineer, but it's a very, very good to have. You have to also know CSS, basically. You have to learn, like my cousin used to call it like think and brush. You have to like learn how the basic CSS works. You have to understand how you can make layouts and how you can make responsive designs. And then JavaScript is very much important as well as a front-end engineer. Version control is inevitable. You have to learn how to like use Git properly. You have to know how to like commit your changes. You have to know how to like push your changes. You have to learn how to like commit to different environments. You have to learn how to like roll back, especially when you commit things that you don't know. Basically, you have to know the essences of all of those branch configurations and branch processes. You also have to know VCS as well, version control systems, hosting solutions, basically. Like these are basic platforms that actually provides version control. Like Git is actually like a version control tool. And we have a couple of platforms that actually host that, which includes GitHub, GitLab, and then Bitbucket. GitHub being the most popular one that is in use at the moment. You have to also know about packet managers and NPMs, PNPMs and YANs of this world. So these are actually like very, very important tools that we have to know. So you have to like, when you take a look at all of these roadmaps, you'll see a couple of things that you need to like learn. You need to like go through to be able to understand how what will make you become very grounded and very vast with content development. Let me just pick up one more before I round up. Let me pick up probably like DevOps, for example, which is one of my major strengths. These are some of the things that you need to like. It's like a kind of a career roadmap that you can go through and know basic things that you need to know to become a very, very strong DevOps engineer. You have to like learn a programming language. So there's no excuse for you to say that I'm a DevOps engineer, I don't know how to write codes. It's not great, basically. For example, I write JavaScript, I write Python, and also very grounded in DevOps. It's not great. It's something that you need to like basically like start learning how to do. You have to learn about operating systems, learn about how Windows work. You have to learn about Unix. You have to learn about Unix, Linux, and all sorts. Especially for the fact that Linux is actually one of the most popular operating systems that actually um, host most of our solutions today. You have to also learn about your terminal knowledge has to be very much on point. You have to learn how to script properly, learn how to do bash scripting, PowerShell scripting, PowerShell scripting for Microsoft terminals, bash scripting for Linux. You have to learn process monitoring, performance monitoring, and all sorts. These are actually things that will help you to enhance your knowledge of observability in DevOps. Like you have to understand how to actually manipulate text with your terminal knowledge and all sorts. You have to learn about nanos, file editing tools like nanos, Emacs, and Vims, for example. Vim being my favorite. Just like I mentioned earlier on too, with front end, you have to learn about Git, which is the version control system and the platform that hosts them, GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket. And then as a DevOps, it's like inevitable, you have to learn about containers, Docker being the most popular one and the mostly used one at the moment. And then you have to learn how to set up your servers, basically. You have to know how to set up your forward proxy, reverse proxy, caching servers, firewalls, load balancers. You have to know how to manipulate your Nginx, Tomcat, Apache, IIS-KDE. Those things are very, very much important for you to learn as a DevOps engineer. So we have a plethora of things. These items in yellow are the major ones. Then the parts or the sub items that you need to learn are the ones that are like pointing to all of them like this. Like I was mentioning cloud platforms that are on AWS, Azure, Google Cloud Platform, Ali Cloud, DigitalOcean, Edna, Contabo. Yeah, Contabo. I've used Contabo before. Heroku is also very much popular amongst users as well. So these are some of the things. You can also go to roadmap.sh. It's free, it's open source. You can create a roadmap for yourself and then set a timeline for yourself to achieving some of those specific goals. I think at this moment, I'll entertain any questions that come in, and I'll appreciate you for also listening. So Lawrence, please, I don't know if questions have been coming in the comment sessions, or you create a question and answer session. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we have a session for question and answers. Yeah, thank you so much, Wale, for the presentation. That was quite impactful. We learned a lot from your session. Yeah, thank you. We're supposed to have a second session before we take question and answers, but the second presenter had a challenge, so he couldn't join. So I normally do like a recap, but maybe we should just go straight to questions and answers. Yeah, so if you have any question, you can type it in the comment section and we take it. So we are expecting questions. So if you have any questions, you can type your questions in the comment section so that we will answer the question. So while that is happening, I will just maybe speak over some of the points I noted down. Like I said, the session was quite impactful. I noted some things down as well. For no matter the level you are in tech, right, there's always room to grow. And one of the first points I noted here is technology evolves constantly, stay informed. So if you have been in the tech industry for a while, you know that a lot has changed, right? Things keep changing. Something like DevOps engineering, and there was no cloud engineering when we just started. And I started my tech career around 2012, and around that 2012, 2011, or 2011, 2012, around that time. I don't know if there was DevOps then, but it wasn't like a big stuff, yeah, as at that time. So as an engineer, if you write your code, you have to deploy it by yourself, host it by yourself, right? So but
I think that was the era when you have to share files, like you
yeah, yeah,
what's that
yeah,
protocol called? There's a protocol FTP to move files
yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
that point to be able to like post things. Yeah, like it can be well emphasized.
Hmm,
Technology is very much fast
hmm, hmm.
evolving. There are a couple of AI enthusiasts now that wouldn't have thought AI would be a big deal as of today in the last 5 years. In fact, there was a buzz
Hmm.
about machine learning in the last 5 years, but we never knew that generative AI was going to like evolve faster and like kind of almost take over the world. It's giving search engines like Google a run for their money. I know a couple of people that have stopped using Google and really rely on ChatGPT at the moment
Yeah.
results. And it gives you a much more streamlined response. And then I don't know, it's like I said, technology is vast and very much evolving.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you're correct.
And some of these companies, I can say that they're actually trying to incorporate AI into their tool as well. I think some time ago I was checking something on there's this platform. I've even forgotten about it now. That we normally used to check for if you have issues, you Google it and then you get like
Stack Overflow.
recommendation. Yeah, Stack Overflow. Yeah, so there was a time I was checking and I saw that they were trying to like incorporate AI into it and stuff like that. Yeah, so you can see that at the moment AI is the thing. A lot of companies are trying to incorporate AI into what they are doing. There was a time where Web3 was the topic, the hot topic, Web3 blockchain. That was like the hot topic. So actually, technology keep evolving, and for you to make progress, for you to be relevant in the tech industry, you have to keep learning, you have to stay informed, and that's one of the things we do at Talent Factory. It's a community where we keep ourselves abreast of whatever is happening, the latest trends, and we have like things we can always learn to be up to date with and be the best, basically. And then another point, be intentional about your growth is something that is very, very important because we're in a world where people are engaged with a lot of things, right? So especially if you are somewhere around late 20s and above, you know that you have a lot of responsibilities. You have responsibility to yourself and to your family members. And of course, if you are a family person, maybe you are married with kids, you have a lot of responsibility. So um staying relevant in tech is something you have to be intentional about. You keep learning because it's really not easy to dedicate time to learn, right? And then you have to set clear goals. That's one of the points. So we have short-term and long-term goals as well, career goals. So within this time, this is what I should achieve, right? And then one of the points is you should document. Documentation is very important because when you have set goals, if you are not documenting, you may not really know if you are making progress or not, right? So by the time you are documenting, okay, I've achieved this, you compare that with your goals or your roadmap, and you'll be able to know what you have been able to achieve and what is left, and then what next you should pursue. Right, yeah, something I normally say that vision, a correct vision, enforces discipline, self-discipline. You know, when you have a vision, okay, I want to be this person in the next 5 years or 10 years, there's a way it helps you, makes you, it enforces discipline basically, right? So there are some things you know you can't do because this is your vision, you want to be at this point. Yeah, so and one of the points is you should deal with challenges. Of course, there will be challenges, imposter syndrome, like we mentioned, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so thank you so much. That was an impactful session. Do we have question? Okay, so I think there is no question. The comments are basically appreciating you for the session, basically, for the knowledge shared. We appreciate your time, the time you've taken to share your knowledge with us. Thank you so much, Wale.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, everyone. So for today, that will be basically it. We're supposed to have a second session, but the second presenter had a challenge, so he couldn't join. Um, and because of the holiday period, a lot of persons were not able to make it to today's Talent Talk, but the video is going to be online, so you can always watch it at your convenience. Thanks everyone that was able to join, and thanks to our amazing presenter, Wale, for sharing the knowledge with us. So that will be it for today. Quick announcement, we have um, a special event for our new year, 1st of January 2025. We are we have an event, a New Year event for that day, and it's centered about around tech career planning. So the title or the theme of the event is Tech Career Planning and Goal Setting, crafting your 2025 tech career roadmap, setting smart goals. So this is basically going to be like a continuation of what we did today, how you can set goals, your career goals for 2025, right? So it's important that when you're starting a new year, you have like a proper plan for that new year. Right, so that's something we want to do at Talent Factory with the community. So we'll be having that event by 4 p.m. West African time. So wherever you're joining us from, please set a reminder for that, 4 p.m. West African time. We'll be going live with that event. And the link is already on our YouTube channel. So if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please ensure you subscribe so that you get notifications when we go live with events like this. And we'll also be dropping comments, impactful comment, educative comment, content, not comment, content that will help you to learn and to advance your career in tech. So thanks everyone. That'll be it for today.